this time, right?
Nah, we should be all right. All right.
We up and running?
We are. Episode 4 of Talkin' Balls live on Facebook. Hopefully you guys can join us on there. And big news, just finally got approved on iTunes.
What do you think? You're better than the stuff than I am. What do you think the holdup was with that?
Operator error, I think. I think I did something wrong the first time. Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was
because
just iTunes waiting to see, or you know.
And I thought that's what it was too, because the Google Play Store was like real quick about it the first time, and then I was waiting on iTunes, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna resubmit it and see what happens. And within like 2 days, it was approved. So I shouldn't have waited so long to resubmit it, I guess. But now, and all the backlogged episodes are available on there. But episode 4 will be the first new episode that will be available on iTunes. Obviously, like you said, you can get it on the Google Play Store, YouTube, Facebook Live, lots of different options.
Do we already have a question up there? I can't.
No, that's just saying
we're live.
They're inviting people to join the video and stuff right now.
So there's a lot of stuff we can hit. Obviously, we're going to get into the playoffs. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Because there's a certain team that I believe needs right here.
Here we go.
Front and center.
No
SI Jinx here, folks. Okay.
Yeah, he's a Patriots fan. For those of you who are not watching live on Facebook right now, Keith is a huge Patriots homer. He's in a good mood today.
I had to go right to the camera. Patriots sweatshirt and Tom Brady on the cover of Best Silence.
I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised at the results of both games, but we'll talk about the Patriots game first. Complete and total domination by the New England Patriots.
Well, I expected more of a game, and I think I put on Facebook my personal page. It is when I got up Sunday morning, I said 42-28 Packers, and then for the Patriots game, I think I said 30-21 Pats. Yeah. For a while, I thought Pittsburgh was going to hang, but then Pittsburgh is going to sound more like, I know it's going to sound like a complete homer, but no surprise here. Pittsburgh can't beat the Patriots. I don't care if it's in Pittsburgh. I don't care if it's in Foxborough. They just don't know how to play the Patriots. I mean, Mike Tomlin doesn't know how to figure them out.
He's too much of a cheerleader. Yeah,
exactly. And I do give Tomlin credit for one thing. That news story came out where and we found out who the guy who did it, talking about the fire alarm early Sunday morning. Yeah. The guy went into court. He said, "I'm drunk. I'm stupid. I'm a Pats fan." So, but I got to.
But he pled not guilty. I'm not sure how that.
Well,
how do you plead not guilty?
He
but
said,
then
"I'm drunk.
Say
I'm
I
stupid.
did it."
I'm a Pats fan.
Yeah.
But I got to give Tomlin credit. He didn't use that as an excuse like he did with that stupid headset thing a few years ago. But getting back to my point, the Steelers just can't play the Patriots. I mean, they can't match up. Le'Veon Bell was a no-show. He got hurt.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown was even a bigger no-show, Mr. Facebook Live. So, it was a blowout. And not to get off the Pats game for a second, but with the exception of that Packers-Cowboys game, the entire playoffs were a complete joke.
Yeah, they really, a lot of blowouts, a lot of boring games. Kind of disappointing, but I think, you do have that Cowboys-Packers game, and we're building up to a Super Bowl, and I know you and I were both hoping for a Packers-Patriots Super Bowl, but in watching the Atlanta Falcons just completely dismantle the Packers on Sunday, I'm excited for this matchup too. I think this is going to be a really good game.
The Falcons actually screwed both of us. So you and I would have had probably, we would have been had a perfect.
We would have been perfect
for a playoff pick. So we finished 9-1.
9-1 isn't too shabby either. But.
And who would have thunk that? I mean, Matt Ryan. Well, I shouldn't say it was too much of a surprise because let's face it, Matt Ryan is probably going to get. He will get the NFL regular season MVP.
Yep.
Well deserved. They got a high-power offense, and you're starting to hear a lot about this defense because their coach Dan Quinn was with the Seahawks back when the Patriots played in the Super Bowl a few years ago. So he's building a nice defense with some young players, that Vic Beasley guy, and they got a nice young secondary. So they're flying under the radar. I'm not expecting a Pats blowout, but
do you think that the Falcons' defense performance against Green Bay was more about the Falcons' defense stepping up, or Green Bay just out of gas at this point? I mean, you had to know it was going to happen eventually. I know you were probably hoping they would keep the foot on the pedal this week and run out of gas next week, maybe, or in the Super Bowl. But the streak that they were on, like that kind of a just amazing run can't continue forever. And did they just kind of run out of gas, or did the Falcons defense really step up? Because they haven't stopped very many people all year long.
I think
and they did against Green Bay.
To be honest with you, I didn't see much of that game because I was out most of the day getting ready for the game, the NFC Championship. But I was checking on my phone a lot, and you and I were texting. So from what you would probably have a better answer to this than I would. I think it was they jumped out to like a 24-0 lead.
Yeah, it was.
So what would you take out of from it? I mean,
from what I gathered, I mean there was a lot of Green Bay Packers like dropped balls, and just it to me it looked like they just kind of ran out of gas.
Did Rodgers look like he had it? I mean,
no.
Again, I didn't see him.
He was not the same Aaron Rodgers that we've seen for the last 6 or 7 games.
So is that Atlanta defense kind of scary from watching that game, or what? Or
I don't think so. Like I said, I think it was more about Green Bay dropping the ball than it was Atlanta's defense stepping up. I think the matchup that you're looking at in the Super Bowl is Atlanta's offense against New England's defense. I think that's going to be the matchup that can New England slow them down enough. You're not going to stop them. You're not going to stop Matt Ryan to Julio Jones. You're not going to take that away. But can you slow them down enough?
I don't know.
Because Tom Brady's going to be able to pretty much pick apart that secondary.
The Patriots took away Big Ben to Antonio Brown pretty well. I mean, holding him to only 77 yards. But
they did, but they both had the flu, so.
Did they still have the COVID game time? Come on.
I had to bring that one up. I just had to.
Well, when the fire alarm was pulled.
Yeah, they were tired.
One thing I was going to bring up. Oh, I saw this earlier today. Speaking of the Patriots trying to stop Ryan and Julio Jones. There was a tweet that Malcolm Butler put out in 2012. I think he was still with West Alabama.
Oh, yes.
Saying, I'm going to check Julio Jones, or I can't wait till someday I will check Julio Jones.
Yep.
And somebody retweeted it today. I forget where I saw it. Well,
who thought his first chance would be in the Super Bowl,
right? Your wish is about to come true. And of course, Malcolm Butler was the star of the Super Bowl. The Pats beat Seattle, but.
Be careful what you wish for. Sometimes I think might end up being the moral of the story.
That might be a great. I think that's going to be a great matchup.
It could be
Butler against. And I would have to think Butler's going to be on Julio. Now Logan Ryan's played great for the Patriots lately. That whole defense has been.
That's the thing about the New England Patriots is that every week it's a different guy that's stepping up, and on offense rather. What was the name of the guy that had broke a record? Hogan?
Oh, Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan? Good Lord. Where did this guy come from?
Yeah, that's the thing with Belichick, the Belichick and the Patriots. If the league wants to go ahead and take away their top picks, they'll beat you with lacrosse players and and Popeye's employees.
Yep.
I mean, Belichick, he's that's what makes him the greatest coach of all time. He will find those players. Forget the freaking top draft picks.
Yeah.
He will go out and find anybody who can fit, and yes, it is a system, not just offensively.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, look at defensively. It's just Malcolm Butler. He was the Popeyes employee.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you can go right down the line. The cast-offs that continue to win for Bill Belichick.
I saw a stat that said there are more former Cleveland Browns on the 2 Super Bowl rosters than any other team in the NFL. And it's so why are the Browns still so bad? Well, because they're letting go the guys that can make a difference.
Also
apparently.
on both sides, I heard this the other day, there's going to be a big Rutgers reunion because Belichick loves to draft from Rutgers. And there's a few guys on the Falcons that went to Rutgers.
Okay.
So, be a Rutgers reunion down in Houston as well.
Couple of kind of key Michigan players in that matchup too. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. One guy named Brady.
Yeah.
And
late round pick. I don't know what to expect out of him.
But it just as a Patriots fan, it just never gets old. You just sit there, and I didn't get that overly excited. Maybe because I don't want to sound cocky or spoiled. Well, we are spoiled. I just sat there going, "This is great." I kind of pump my fist. I don't go nuts anymore because I'm used to this.
It's like Yankee fans from the mid '90s to for a decade or so.
Much larger run there. But, and who knows? Here's the thing to throw out, Shane, as an avid football fan. Do you think we'll ever see a run as long like a 15, 16-year run? It's probably going to go longer because Brady's not done yet.
Yeah.
Will we ever see a run like this ever again?
It's hard to imagine, but then again, 20 years ago, it would have been hard to imagine the New England Patriots going on a run like this because they were a pretty terrible team there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And will we ever see another coach like Belichick teamed up with another quarterback like Brady? I mean, that's hard to say a definitive yes.
What a marriage.
Because
what a marriage.
Yeah, these two guys. And what was the graphic the other day? They're almost twice as many wins as the next closest coach quarterback combo.
206 wins for Brady, Belichick, and I think the next closest is 102, and that's Roethlisberger and is it Tomlin?
Tomlin.
Might be Tomlin.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Cowher. No, he wasn't around. Roethlisberger and Tomlin.
Yep.
But I mean that's There's, you can go right down the line of the records, and it's just another stat. Speaking of New England sports, just off the top of my head, this will be the 14th time in 15 years that a New England sports team will be playing at least in the title game of the 4 major pro sports. So
that's quite a stat.
As a New England fan, I'm pretty. We've had it pretty good up here.
So when you say New England, though, does that just count Boston teams, you mean?
Yes,
in general?
like Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics,
okay.
Patriots.
All right.
Which I didn't even know. I saw that stat Sunday night. I'm like, oh my God,
wow.
Are you kidding me?
Spoiled brat. Try being a Detroit fan for a while, huh? See how you feel.
Your Tigers are you've your day, and you're still. In fact, I have. I'm going to go through it now. I pick up USA Today Weekly at my other job in Boston sometimes on weekends. It's laying right there, and there's a nice article on how I looked at your lineup for not to talk baseball here for a second. But the Tigers look pretty damn decent, man. I'm telling you.
They didn't do much in the offseason, which
nice lineup,
it could be kind of a blessing in disguise because when Avila took over, he said anybody was on the trading block, and anything could happen this offseason, and then. Yes, everyone was on the trading block for a period of time, but he was asking the world for anybody would. Ian Kinsler, for example, to the Dodgers was something that had gone back and forth, and the Dodgers finally acquired a second baseman, so that kind of put the kibosh to any of those trade rumors. But
all right, there was
March. A lot of rumors, but nothing ever happened. You're the one that brought it up. What do you mean save it for March?
I am dying because we had some nice weather up here in these parts. So yeah, you think, oh my God, baseball.
It is. It has been very baseball seasony. Not so much today and yesterday, but yeah. Oh, and before we get too far off track, I really want to dig into dissecting the Pro Bowl and the matchups.
Shut up.
And
I'm gonna go take a dump. I'll be right back. You can dissect it all you want.
Think about this though. What would be more embarrassing for the NFL to just give up and get rid of the Pro Bowl altogether?
Now it's in Orlando. I mean,
to continue this debacle of a game that nobody watches, nobody plays hard. I mean. What's the best case scenario for the NFL?
Well, I will say this: at least they finally got. Well, I don't even say they got the weekend right because. Do you think this could be the first debate? Should it be played after the football season's over? When I think nobody really who's going to watch the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl.
They used to be after the Super Bowl, and nobody watched it. So they moved it to the week in between, and still nobody watches it. So I don't know.
Let's move it from Honolulu to Orlando. Maybe that'll help. I can tell you right now, I could give two shits. I'm not going to watch it. Are you? I mean,
I don't have plans to. Yeah, we're not having a big Pro Bowl watch party at my house for any. If it's on at the bar, then yeah, I'll pay a little bit of attention to it. But I think, I was talking to my dad about this earlier because he lives in Florida, and he said whatever we do this weekend, we're going nowhere near Orlando because it'll be busy. I think
it'll be that crazy for the Pro Bowl.
The attraction to the Pro Bowl is all of the fan things that are going on outside of the Pro Bowl. You know what I mean? The actual game is kind of an afterthought, and I think at this point they might as well just play a flag football 7-on-7 matchup for the Pro Bowl because the game itself isn't really a draw, but all of the fan experience things that go on throughout the course of that weekend. I think that's what draws people, and that's maybe why they moved it to Orlando. Just from an ease of travel perspective, because not a lot of people, you're not going to randomly book a flight to Honolulu to go watch the Pro Bowl and participate in those kinds of things. But if it's in Orlando, it's like, okay, well, Orlando in February, that's a nice place to visit, or late January. Let's go do that with the family, and it's a little more doable than taking everybody to Hawaii. So from that aspect, I mean, that move kind of makes a little bit of sense, but it still doesn't change the fact that the Pro Bowl is a snooze fest.
Oh, it is. Yeah, no doubt. So does that mean since the Pro Bowl's in Orlando, is the winning team like they would do in the Super Bowl. Say, I'm
going to Disney World. Yeah,
right,
I mean, it's right there. They're probably both. Everyone's going to Disney.
I just thought about that. You know,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That's probably part of the package. They're like, listen.
Hold the game at Disney World.
Yeah.
It's that much of a joke.
We're not going to Hawaii anymore, but everybody gets free passes to Disney after the game.
All right. Hey, I want to get your thoughts on, back to some of the games. Is there anything else you want to touch on as far as the games from this past weekend? Because if not, we could just start.
Yeah, there was only 2 of them, so I think we covered pretty much everything.
I mean, I think we're in agreement that the playoffs blew, except for the Packers-Cowboys game. And Aaron Rodgers gave us nothing in that first game on Sunday. And Brady and the Patriots are back in familiar territory. So you have Patriots-Falcons. Before we get into Super Bowl and predictions and all that, Shane, I'll let you explain what we got going for this contest.
Yes, I had the idea the other day, and our Facebook Livers that nobody's watching right now, but maybe we'll get some watching the replay.
Eventually.
What I want to do is a little contest for the picks for the Super Bowl. I want you to post on our Facebook page. You can send us a tweet at Talkin' Balls Pod on Twitter. You can email us, talkinballspodcast@gmail.com. Get your picks in for the Super Bowl. I want to know who you think is going to win and the exact score. And after the Super Bowl, whoever nails it or gets closest, I got a 4-pack of Captain's Daughter Double IPA for the winner of that. That's an incentive right there, and it's a free thing for a contest. So if you're a fan of beer, you're a fan of IPAs in particular, there's a 4-pack of Captain's Daughter up for grabs. I'm putting that on the line out of my own personal stash.
And I will tell you, Shane hooked me up. Some of you Facebook friends of mine may have seen it because I posted it the night Shane brought it in. He gave me a 4-pack, and I had one that night, and I saved like the remaining 3 for, well, maybe I had one. Anyway, I think I had 2 of them on Sunday night during the Patriots game. What I'm getting at, it is, and I'm a big IPA guy myself, that was some really good beer.
It is a good beer, and it's highly sought after, and the brewery, Gray Sail, I'll give my own brewery a little plug here for a second. Gray Sail Brewing of Rhode Island, really ramping up production. This was one of those beers for a while that people would line up outside liquor stores when they finally got it. Like, this was a high demand beer that we just couldn't make it fast enough, and we've gotten to the point where we've added some equipment, and we're contract brewing with another local brewery in Connecticut to make one of our other beers so that we can dedicate more production time to Captain's Daughter. And we're getting a new canning line soon, so that's going to just make the whole process a little more efficient and get it to the point where you can just walk into a liquor store and buy a 4-pack whenever you want. But for a long time there, it was very hard to find. And any time that I showed up to a distributor with a truckload of Captain's Daughter, I was like a hero. So that was kind of fun.
Well, you're right. And I can't strongly suggest drink the beer on an empty stomach.
No, you don't want to do that.
It's even better on an empty stomach.
Don't try to drink all 4 and then go somewhere. That is a bad. It's 8.5% alcohol, and it drinks smooth.
It's potent.
Like a lager. I mean, you won't understand how much it's hitting you until you go to get up and actually perform a function, and then you're like, oh, wait a second.
Unless your team is getting blown out in the Super Bowl.
Then you'll need it. Yeah, yes. Then you'll absolutely need it. But yeah, so post your picks, and I'll post about it on our Facebook page over the next couple of weeks. You guys can post your guesses on there, your predictions, and whoever's closest. If it comes down to a tie, then we'll put the names in a hat and draw it on the Tuesday after the Super Bowl. We'll do it live right in here. And we'll draw.
That's right.
A
We'll be on the
way.
day after. Well, no. We'll be 2 days after the Super Bowl.
2 days after the Super Bowl. Yep.
But how? Once again, where can they post their picks again?
All kinds of places. You can post it right on here in the comments section of this video, or you can just post it to Talkin' Balls on Facebook. On Twitter, it's at Talkin' Balls Pod. Gmail, talkinballspodcast@gmail.com. We post this on YouTube. You can post your predictions on YouTube if you wanted to. I mean, anywhere you post it, I'll compile a list and keep track of everything. And whoever nails that score or gets closest will get a 4-pack of Captain's Daughter.
Oh, can't go wrong with that. And I texted Shane last night. I go, I hope you're keeping track of all these social media platforms because I'm losing track.
We are everywhere at this point.
Good Lord, what are we, like up to 7 platforms?
At least.
All right, so I guess let's get into the Super Bowl itself. Obviously, Sunday, February 5th, Super Bowl 51, Houston, where the Patriots won Super Bowl 38, I think it was, or 36. Anyway, that was the year they beat Carolina.
Okay.
And that actually was the last AFC Championship game I was at. The year they beat Peyton Manning in the snow in Foxborough.
Oh, nice.
And that was 2004. So, anyway, it will be a good game. At least we're all hoping for a good game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I want the Patriots to win by like a couple touchdowns. A win's a win, though. But I don't know. I'll let you go first because I think everyone knows where I'm going.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be back and forth. It's always fun to watch a matchup that's strength versus strength when you, in terms of the Patriots' defense against the Falcons' offense. It'll come down to can the Patriots' offense stop texting me, people. Can the Patriots' offense, keep pace with the Falcons' offense and make the Falcons' defense look bad? The line the last time I saw
What's the
was...
over? It's like 59, isn't it?
Was it?
The over,
I don't know what
is
the
like
over-under is, but I know the line is Patriots are favored by 3. I would, and I know you would, but I think even a lot of non-Patriots fans out there are salivating at the prospect of Roger Goodell having to hand that trophy to Tom Brady at the end of this game. And along with possibly the MVP trophy of the game. And, I mean, that would just be the icing on the cake.
Talk about complete vindication.
I don't think, after watching the Falcons on Sunday, I have a hard time thinking that the Patriots offense can keep up with the Falcons offense. I'm gonna take the Falcons to win this game. If nothing else, just to start an argument with you, because I'm gonna.
Oh, that's why. Okay, now the truth comes out.
We've picked the
same. That means he thinks the Patriots are really gonna win, but he wants to die.
We picked the same thing, and throughout the whole playoffs. So I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one. At least. I'm hoping that it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick because the Falcons. Look, I know I come across as an obnoxious homer on Facebook. I tell that Shane knows that. I tell a lot of people that work with me in this building. I am. I'm defending myself here. I'm not that much of an asshole, but I will say this.
Well,
I do watch football and I watch the NFL closely, as Shane does, and that goes for any other sports like NBA, Major League Baseball. I'm just not just about my team, and I can tell you the Atlanta Falcons are a team to be reckoned with. And Matt Ryan is incredible. Julio Jones, their defense, I think, is, as I said earlier, is flying under the radar. I'm looking at a really good game. In fact, the Pats have won the majority of their Super Bowls, except for the Seattle game. They won by 4. All three of the 4 of their Super Bowl wins have been by a field goal. I wouldn't expect. I'm pretty much leaning towards. No more than a 5-point win for the Patriots. I think it's going to be a tight game. We'll do scores maybe next week.
Yeah, we got to leave something to talk about next week because there's not a lot going on.
We have to get into freaking NBA next week just to kill time because that's the shitty thing about 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. And first of all, this week's going to be boring.
Yep.
Next week you're going to have all the clowns during media day. This is what you're going to hear a lot: is the whole Patriots Trump thing. Patriots, Trump, and it's just can we just get past that, please?
Yep.
Get politics out of this. It's not about the Patriots and Trump.
Says the guy who continuously posts pictures of Donald Trump hanging out with Belichick and Brady.
That's because winners are winners. You got to post. I'm all about winners, and Trump's a winner, and the Patriots are winners.
Here's one of the kind of things that makes me want to lean toward the Falcons is the fact that. Yeah, their defense gets beat up, and their defense has given up a lot of numbers, but can you put that all on the defense, or can you say, okay, well, we've got this great, quick strike, high-powered offense, which ends up putting the defense on the field more often than, the defense finally gets off the field, and they just sit down to rest, and boom, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, 80 yards, go right back out there.
It won't be that easy against the Patriots.
No, it won't, but is the Falcons' defense as bad as the numbers lead you to believe, or is it just a bend but don't break type thing where they give up a ton of yards just because they're out there so much because their offense is, clicking on a historic rate? I mean, they scored more than 500 points during the regular season, which is something that has only happened a handful of times in the NFL.
Well, I'm trying to think of some decent defenses that Atlanta's went up against this year. And they've never. You give Bill Belichick 2 weeks to prepare for Matt Ryan, who's never been to the Super Bowl. He's gonna be nervous.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn, okay, he's been to a Super Bowl, not as a head coach, but with the Seahawks. So Dan Quinn will know what gave Brady headaches in that Seahawks Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's not. I hate to say,
but you don't have the same talent level on the Falcons defense as you did on that Seattle. That Seattle defense was on a whole nother level from anybody that we've seen this year.
And you get Brady. Brady just eats, sleeps, and drinks film. And that's he actually Sunday night, 1:30 in the morning. He wasn't in bed with Giselle. He was studying the Atlanta Falcons.
That's dedication.
That's all. A lot of the Patriots did that. You think, aren't you going to go celebrate? You just won the AFC Championship? No, they were right in the film room later that night. And that's the Patriot way, I guess, or at least part of it. But to answer your question, I just don't see it being easy for Matt Ryan. I mean, they've had, and I'm a Matty Ice guy, Boston College.
Boston College. There's
a lot of Boston tie-ins to the Super Bowl as well. But I mean, I just can't. And Brady's never lost to the Falcons. Never lost to Matt Ryan.
Right.
They're buddies, by the way. I should say. But
they text a lot, they said.
Brady followed him when he was at BC. But
will Roger Goodell's granddaughter have a soccer game on that day that he has to attend rather than...
His ass better be there. Because if it is, of course it'll be there. But
he'll be at the Super Bowl no matter what.
If you want to talk about that for a second, can you, going to Atlanta for the second straight week, can you say coward?
Big time.
If you're Roger Goodell and you made that ruling on Deflategate, what does that say if you're not showing up in Foxborough? That says, A, I'm a coward, B, I was wrong.
Yep.
Stand up. Just show up there. Don't.
He knows that he got in over his head in the beginning.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out, so he stuck to his guns, and I use that term loosely. But the four-game suspension for that is an absolute joke. And then we've talked about this a little bit already, but the guys
who's texting you?
Who I don't know.
I keep thinking it's a Facebook Live question. But
no, it's what it is it's my friend Kevin and my wife, and we're on a group text, and they're going back and forth right now,
come down
and it keeps popping up. Cut it out, you two.
Come on, share the text.
Cut it out. But
hi. What are they saying? Come on.
I don't know. I can't read it from this far away. No, I completely lost my train of thought.
Talking about Goodell, right?
Yeah. Just if you look at the punishment fitting the crime, and Brady may or may not have known about air that was intentionally or maybe unintentionally released from a football, and he gets a 4-game suspension, and they stick to that 4-game suspension, and then you have how many other guys? Drug suspensions, domestic disturbance suspensions, and then they get their suspensions reduced.
Inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
And that's the whole deal. You don't have the commissioner. At least you got to have a guy who can make these decisions for you.
I remember when Goodell first took over the league too. As commissioner, he was saying all the things about accountability and discipline and this and that, and then a couple incidents happened right away, and it's been a long time ago, so I don't remember all the details, but I remember 2 separate incidents happening right away, and he just sort of swept them under the rug, and I'm like, what happened to all the accountability and the discipline and all this stuff when he's not sticking to his word way before Deflategate?
Don't forget the players voted him into power, so it's kind of the players' fault too.
Yeah, and at this point, who's gonna? It's going to have to... he's the worst commissioner in all of sport.
What happens in 2020.
Yeah. Something different has to happen because the NFL is on a downhill slide. The matchups in the playoffs, which doesn't have anything to do with the commissioner, but the matchups were not great this year. Ratings are at a historic low.
It's been terrible.
The Pro Bowl has been a problem, has been a thorn in the NFL side for a long time. Something different needs to happen with the NFL, and I think it's got to start with replacing Roger Goodell with anybody.
And there's another issue if you want to keep ripping the NFL, because I think we're on a roll, and it should be ripped right now because, as you said, the games have been terrible this year. How about going back to or getting rid of Thursday Night Football, or at least doing what they did earlier, make it later in the season when they kick in. The Saturday games late in the season are fun, but I think people back before they had the Thursday night games every week of the year, it kept us wanting more.
Yeah.
And then you get to like week 10, the Thursday nights are kicking in now. That was something you always had to look forward to something. Now it's like, oh, geez.
There's football on almost every day
Monday
of the
night
week.
football's over, and then you get 2 days to catch your breath. Oh, here we go. You and I are football fans. We're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Shitty game or not.
Yep.
But, it gets to a point where you could probably say the same. Now, I know you worked. You were working weeknights, so it probably made it. I was at home. And I could care less about the majority of those games.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't give a shit about this game. I'm gonna watch a movie.
Yeah.
And I'll watch a chick flick before I.
Unless it was a really good matchup, I didn't try to even pay attention. If there was a local, Giants, Jets, Patriots involved, I would pay attention just to
but you can
give
get
the
the updates
updates
on your phone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and watch all.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, there were. I mean, the first half of the season in particular, there was just some historically bad matchups on Thursday Night Football. I mean, you got teams in Week 5 that have 1-3 against 2-2 or something like that.
Why in God's name would you put Tennessee and Jacksonville in prime time? That's
terrible.
And the London games, they came out the other day. Like one is like Vikings Jaguars, or one is it Vikings Browns? I don't know. Really? Does anybody across the pond give a shit about that? Heads up, London. Don't go to the game.
If you're gonna send a couple of teams out there, send the Packers and the Cowboys.
Send some good teams.
Send the Patriots and the Cowboys.
I don't know if the Pats are going. I know they're going in a couple of years. Right?
I think the NFL needs to give up on this whole "let's go international" thing and just stop. Those games in London are a pain in the butt for the players. Yeah, the travel is just killer, and then you got they're on at like 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. It throws their cycle all off.
I want football and beer. I don't want football and coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Football and mimosas.
I want to be sleeping at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Come on. I'm not setting my alarm to get up and watch football.
People are at church are doing their Sunday morning thing. They're not ready to. No.
Yeah.
I want historically people sit down, get the pregame if they want. Even the pregame shows suck. I can't sit through that. I'll sit down at 1 o'clock if I'm home and I'm doing something in the yard or whatever. And it's just like that's what it should come down to again. Get back to the traditional ways. And Goodell's a money-hungry idiot, and the owners have and the owners are to blame too, especially with the Deflategate thing, because they went right after Goodell saying, "Oh, you didn't punish the Patriots hard enough for Spygate. You better go after them this time." So Goodell was under pressure by the owners. So they're both to blame. It's just the NFL is totally in shambles right now.
And to the point of getting up so early to watch them on a Sunday, and if they're in London, that's just on the East Coast. My parents lived in Colorado for a while, so it was kind of nice on a typical Sunday. The NFL games start at like 11 o'clock. Yeah. And like for Monday Night Football, they're over at a reasonable time.
Now those London games for Colorado,
they'll be starting at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. in California. That's insanity. Nobody's getting up to watch that game.
Although I was watching the Australian Open at 3 o'clock.
Were you? Excited.
I happened to be up, but anyway.
What about the Raiders' move to Las Vegas? Is Las Vegas going to be the next big sports
town? They got a hockey
town?
team,
a hockey team, and now a football team in Vegas.
Well. I mean, I feel bad for those fans because Oakland is just turning the corner with Derek Carr. There's the love affair is back. Not even before the Raiders sucked. That is a loyal fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got buddies out there.
Crazy fan base.
Yeah, and it's really gonna kind of suck. If it was the Oakland A's, it's a different story. Forget it. Nobody gives a shit about the Oakland A's.
Right.
But the Oakland Raiders, win or lose, man. I mean, that is a loyal.
They're face
fan
painted.
Base.
They're in their outfits.
Yeah, I feel kind of. I mean, Vegas is they're money right now. No pun intended. Swingers. But I don't know. It's gonna suck for that Raiders fan base. The diehards out in Oakland. That's what I think.
What's going on with this new angle? Oh, good. My wife is now tuned in, so maybe she'll stop texting back and forth so much.
You like it? You like the new angle? Last week we were like this.
Yeah, it was sideways last week. That didn't work out very well. So we're still working on it. Still playing with the angles and that kind of thing. Find an ideal situation.
Let's get a prediction from your wife. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Give us a score.
All right. What do you think, Tara and I? Score on the Super Bowl: Falcons Patriots.
She's going to go Falcons.
She has no idea. Hold on, she's digging out a coin to flip. She doesn't know what's going on. She's just laughing right now. No, football is not her thing. Huh? Particularly NFL is not her thing. She'll sit and watch a college game with me because she likes the bands and the atmosphere of a college football game. But NFL, she has no interest. She enjoyed rooting for the Giants when we went to the Giants-Lions game.
She rooted for the Giants?
Her family's Giants fans.
Oh,
all of her family are Giants fans. So her family's split between Red Sox and Yankees, but everybody's a Giants fan.
See, I married, my wife grew up in a Yankee family. She's not a big sports fan either, but baseball, she'll root for the Yankees, but she's told me that, she could care less about football either, but she'll root for the Patriots. days.
Yeah,
So.
all right. There was one non-football thing I wanted to bring up, and I know Keith isn't a huge NASCAR guy, but we've probably got some viewers and some listeners that are NASCAR.
Go ahead, Shane. You talk about it. You talk about NASCAR. I'm gonna go take a shit.
They're redoing the point system apparently in NASCAR I think misguided attempt to keep guys from winning a race early in the season, winning a race or two, guaranteeing them spot in the championship, and then kind of coasting. So what they're doing is every race, from what I understand, every race is going to be quartered off, and at the end of that X amount of laps, you get points for wherever you first through 10th. And so now they're going to like an every lap matters type, so you can accumulate points throughout the race, and then if you crash 3/4 of the way through the race, you at least still got a few points from leading early.
Is this similar to, it's not happening anymore, when the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, now it counts?
Yeah.
I know they're not doing that anymore. But
yeah, they got rid of it, so we'll see.
Do you think this is a good thing?
Well, from the comment section that I was reading, the hardcore NASCAR fans are not. They're not fans of it. They basically are saying
you're messing with the traditional way.
This is giving me less of a reason to watch every race because, and the idea is every lap matters, to get people, to get the racers to go hard every single race. But I think it's going to kind of have the opposite effect where it'll still be the same thing where you can accumulate a bunch of points in the beginning of the season and then kind of coast the rest of the way and, go easy toward the end. You don't have to... There's already an idea where you can get into the playoff without actually winning a race, but this just makes that even more likely. So there's going to be drivers at the end of the season that never even win a race, but now they're in the playoff and in the chase.
Because of points.
Yeah, I think there should be a stipulation that you have to win at least one race in order to make it to the championship.
Jeez, wow. That is kind of... I hate when... and NASCAR is a major sport, obviously, but don't mess with the... Do we have a prediction up there?
No, she's asking why we didn't coordinate our outfits this time, because a couple weeks ago we both had...
Is it Tara?
Tara, yeah.
Tara, you got to get him a Patriots and then we can wear it, especially leading up to... Because we have one more week till this... Well, 2 weeks. So next Monday, when we're really getting ready for the Super Bowl, I can wear my other Patriots sweatshirt. Shane has a week to get his.
There we go.
And then
maybe I'll get a Tom Brady jersey.
Or no, get a Matt Ryan jersey. I'll wear my Brady.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'll wear my Brady jersey. You wear your Matt Ryan jersey.
There you go.
Kind of fun.
So back to the NASCAR thing. I've never been a huge NASCAR fan, but growing up in Central Florida, Daytona was always kind of a big deal. And when we first moved down there, my birthday is in mid-February, and the Daytona 500 is always in mid-February, right?
So you've been to the Daytona 500?
I have not been to the actual race,
What?
but my parents went to go to the mall in Daytona one Sunday before my birthday to get my birthday presents. I was like 5, 6 years old. And they were gone. This was before we had cell phones and stuff. And they were gone for hours and hours and hours. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm going to have the best birthday ever because they've been gone forever. They're just buying stuff right and left. Well, they got stuck in what normally is a 20-minute trip. They ended up trying to leave the mall just as the race was getting over. And they ended up stuck in traffic for like 4 hours to get a 20-mile drive back to the house.
So what'd you end up getting for your birthday?
So I don't remember. I remember them being stuck.
You don't remember what you got for your birthday, but you remember that story?
When I was 5, I probably, let's see, I was 5, 1980. I probably got a Nintendo that year, actually, is what I probably got. My first Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah.
But,
yeah, well. So that's my big, and I have actually, I've been to the Daytona Stadium. Every year they used to do a car show. I think it was called the Turkey Trot around Thanksgiving. And my dad had a 2000 WS6 Trans Am. It was black. It was all tricked out. And you got to drive in through the tunnel. And then they take your picture on one of the curves with the Daytona USA sign in the background.
Wow. Huh.
So we used to go to that every year. And the actual car show itself was on the infield of the Daytona Speedway. So that was kind of cool. We got to do that.
But I can only imagine being at one of those legendary tracks like in Indy 500 or Daytona 500. I mean, that's history right there.
Definitely.
Really is.
Definitely. Yeah, as much as... I mean, we have one within driving distance up in New Hampshire where they have
Loudon.
Loudon. Yeah, they have a NASCAR race there every year, which is something that, yeah, it would be kind of cool to take a road trip. Maybe we'll do a Talkin' Balls live from Loudon.
Yeah, you know what?
If we get.
We're also taking suggestions too. Maybe if there's any guests you'd like us to try and get on, we can work on that for down the road. This is still a work in progress. We appreciate you, you early followers. This is only episode 4.
Yep.
And we do have a contest before we. I imagine we're coming close to a.
Yeah, we're getting up there.
You want to mention the contest again?
Yeah, we're doing a contest. Whoever predicts the score and the winner of the Super Bowl, whoever's the closest, is going to get a 4-pack of Captain's Daughter Double IPA from Gray Sail Brewing of Rhode Island. Out of my own personal stash,
wow.
I'm putting that forward to try to get some interest here, and let's see how many entries we can get for this contest.
How big is that stash? I could go for another 4.
It's only got 2 4-packs in it right now, so my stash is dwindling. I got to get some more, but I'm trying to. This is on the stipulation that I don't drink it all between now and the Super Bowl. So we'll see. No, I put one aside. I'm saving one for the winner of this contest. So again, talkinballspodcast@gmail.com is our email address. You can send your predictions there. You can comment right here on the Facebook Live post or anytime on our Facebook page. You can go to Talkin' Balls Pod, or it's at Talkin' Balls Pod on Twitter, and send us a message there. Any way you want to get your pick in, get it in, and we'll put you in the running. And if it comes down to an exact tie, then we'll just draw a name out of a hat on the Tuesday after the Super Bowl. We'll do that here live on the show so that everybody can see it, and we're not trying to, just give it to our buddies or whatever. And there you go.
Hard to believe our next podcast, episode 5, will be on the last day of January. And then, of course, as Shane mentioned, we're back 2 days after the Super Bowl. So that'll be when the Patriots will be having their duck boat parade. That'll be February 7th.
We'll see.
Boats, baby.
Duck boats! About that. We'll also take any questions that you guys have, all those different ways that I just mentioned that you could get your predictions in. Feel free to send us questions. We're going to need some material to fill next week because there's not a whole lot happening in the sports world.
Up on your NBA.
Yeah. I did want to mention, I'm going to put this out there to you again. I'm going to give you a second chance. Red Wings Bruins tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Do you want to make the bet or not? I'm putting it on you.
Do that profile picture.
Loser changes their profile pic to the winner's logo for a week.
Maybe I'll do it for the Twitter picture.
For the Twitter picture? Okay, all right, we'll do that for Twitter.
All right, so Red Wings Bruins in Boston this time.
In Boston. Last time I tried to get them to make this bet, and the Bruins got off to a 3-0. Before I even blinked, I forgot the game had even started. It was already 3-0.
Crazy.
I'm like, boy, I dodged a bullet there. And then the Red Wings just pounded it and ended up winning 6-5 in a shootout, wasn't it? Didn't it go all the way to a shootout?
And the Bruins
what a game that was.
Bruins have lost 4 in a row going into tonight. I don't care if it's at home, and they played worse at home. So I think Shane has the advantage with his Red Wings tonight. So
they got off to a rough start, but yeah, they're putting things together right now. I'm thinking at the very least their streak of 21 seasons in a row making the playoffs, that streak will at least continue this year.
All right. You think they're going to? All right. Yeah, because they're around 500 right now.
Yeah, they're right in the mix of it on the bottom half of the Eastern Conference. It is weird with the Red Wings being in the Eastern Conference.
That's like the Patriots. Yeah, because the Red Wings, notoriously like the Penguins, have always been very good.
Yeah, so, and their rivals have traditionally been Chicago and Colorado, and now they're all of a sudden they're in the Eastern Conference.
Weird.
And
it's
they're
weird.
Boston
In the East, I know.
Yeah, it's strange, but I'm getting used to it.
So, all right. So we've even touched on NASCAR and hockey, and this is kind of like a preview of what we're going to be digging for that. So again, if you watch this later, obviously we probably don't have a lot of live viewers right now. Obviously, we're open to suggestions for next week. Shane and I will be working hard again to give you another solid show, but it's probably going to be NBA, maybe some college hoops, more Super Bowl preview stuff, Patriots, Falcons, and I don't know. Maybe we could try and get. Should we try and shoot for a guest? I mean,
I was talking
between the two of us. I know a lot of people.
I was talking to one of our coworkers here, Jesse, the other day, and he was suggesting we could get some of the local high school coaches on, and talk a little bit of real local stuff if we wanted to.
We can go for a local angle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, why not?
We'll have to do some research and see if we can come up with a guest for next week's show. We got to do something to fill 45 minutes because not a lot else going on. Well, we'll have the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue to talk about, I guess. That's what comes out.
We got Brady on the SI cover.
There we go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in once again. Don't forget, You can now find us on iTunes and the Google Play Store. If you have a Windows phone, you probably don't know what a podcast is or how anything works because Windows phones are terrible. So I don't even know what platform you would put it on that's specifically for a Windows phone. But if you've got an Android or an iPhone, we're out there for you. You can always watch us on YouTube and Facebook, and I mean we're pretty much everywhere. So we will talk to you guys next week, and maybe we'll have a guest. I'll announce that on our Facebook page if we book one.
Yeah, keep looking for those. If you follow us on Facebook, try and keep up those Talkin' Balls nuggets. I like to post.
Yeah, those are fun.
All
All right, guys. Till next week.
Good article on Michael Fulmer in this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year. He was on my fantasy team last year too.
Yeah, I think their rotation. I mean, it should have been better last year than it was. Zimmerman was hurt a lot of the year last year. Oh yeah. Zimmerman was hurt a lot of the year last year, and